Peace, peace, peace. What's going on, my weebles? It's your boy Sincere Seven coming to you live and direct from the pad, Psychonaut Academy of Detroit, representing the House of Genesis. So the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit is our entheogenic / psychedelic house. That is where people go to get educated, as well as sometimes experience entheogens, psychedelics, and mental and emotional healing. The House of Genesis is where we focus on illnesses, diseases, sicknesses, and healing, of the physical body. Okay, for those who don't know, we haven't been speaking about the House of Genesis and the Psychonaut Academy at Detroit a whole lot. A lot of y'all who follow me and are aware of me are probably aware that I am the Snake Venom practitioner instructor, and that I do speak quite often about those things. We do a lot more here at the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit, as well as the House of Genesis, and we will be explaining and speaking about those things more. But today, I wanted to address something. So a lot of people reach out to me, and if you've noticed, I've been sending back my Calendly book a consultation link. Because that's what you need to do if you want to speak with me. You need to book a consultation with me. Now, if you don't want to book a consultation with me, that's fine. I'm not seeking you out for anything. But if you are seeking me out, you need to speak, if anything like that, I would invite you to utilize that link. Why? So that I can get to you at a time, and so that you can have my undivided attention. I'm always busy. I'm always doing something. So with that being said, that's for both of us. So I had an individual that inboxed me a question about something, and I appreciated that they said, basically, I'm jumping in your inbox. So if you want to charge me, I'm cool with that. And it was like, all right, cool. So you don't have a problem with getting the consultation. I respect that. But then what they asked me, I don't mind speaking about publicly, as opposed to charging them a consultation to speak about something that I can speak about publicly. So that individual asked me what my thoughts were on epilepsy. And let me be very clear, when I read it, I was like, oh, you're an asshole. Because I started to send back what my thoughts on epilepsy was. But I knew and realized that they were asking, what do you think about epilepsy and addressing a wellness journey using snake venom? That's what they was really asking me. And so with that being said, I was like, that's a good discussion. That's a good cushion coffee with the cat, if you will. It's a good live. This is something that is not uncommon in our communities. There's quite a few people dealing with epilepsy who have family that's dealing with, just things like that. So I was like, this is a good discussion. Let's dive into it. So that's what we're here to talk about today. So before we dive into epilepsy and how to approach a wellness journey, if you're watching this, please share this video. I don't see any reason to not share this video. How to approach a wellness journey, addressing, how to approach a wellness journey with somebody who has epilepsy. Now, we have to be careful because we do not diagnose, treat, cure, or any of that with any diseases. So we have to be very cautious of the wordings we use when we're talking about wellness journeys and addressing certain ailments in the body with different alternative health practices, right? But before we go into that, or no, not before, how do we go into that? What I'm doing is I'm going to do a live, this talk right now, this video that I'm doing. As practitioners, we get together and do this together as a team sometime. And this is where we basically go through and figure out the best route to take. So this is a double thing. We're going to talk about epilepsy, but we're also going to talk about approaching healing journeys, approaching wellness journeys, approaching addressing certain things, utilizing certain alternative medicines, and how do we even go about that approach. True Jim 73, peace, what's popping? So first and foremost, what is this person's astrology? Secondly, what is this person's human design? In case y'all don't know, as alternative health practitioners, those things are very important. Now, if you have not learned, been taught or educated, informed, instructed, or guided on how to use that information properly in your, we don't diagnose, but in your creation of your wellness journey, I invite you to study, you know, a little bit of astrology and numerology, as well as human design. Now, let me be very clear. It is not important for you to be an analysis. You don't have to know how to read charts and tell people all of it. Nope, you have to know how to pull those things that are important to you as a practitioner out of these people's information. So I'm not going to go deep into that. Those who know. If you don't, continued education. But we take those clients' astrology and human design into account before we start crafting their journeys. There are things that are going to be different on this journey based off if they're a projector or they're a generator, based off if they're a manifestor or a reflector, right? So those things are important. So those are the type of things that we'll take early on. Okay. So then, now the blunt is fired up. Now we can get into it. So we've taken the client's personal information, of course, human design, astrology. Now we need to get basically their general living existence. So their sleep patterns, their eating, their diet, their sexual habits, their work schedules, all of these different things. A lot of ailments come from stress. A lot of them come from stress. A lot of mental ailments come from anxiety, come from shame spaces, all of these types of things. So everything doesn't always come from the physical. Every disease is caused by parasites. Fucking goodness. Anyway, so with that being said, you know, we're going to do an intake of their quality of life. Keep those things in account. Now, as a healer, because I am a healer, and we know healers, people heal themselves. Shut the fuck up. God damn it. I'm having fun this morning, if you can't tell. As a healer, I like for my clients to be fully informed of what's going on. So this isn't well, I'm the healer, you're not, so I'm going to tell you what we're going to do because I'm smart and I know what's going on. So just listen to me. No. First of all, do you know what this is? Do you know what epilepsy is? Do you know what causes epilepsy? Do you know what the symptoms of epilepsy is? Do you know how to treat the things that come from having epilepsy, right? Do you know how to eat properly to support a journey of wellness with epilepsy? We talk about these things, and we need you as well as me to have a full understanding of where these things come from, how they come about. Now, there is a what is that word? It's like, it means don't know where it comes from. Idiocracy. It's gonna come to me in a minute. But epilepsy is one of those ailments. It's like where they're not always sure of what caused it, okay, where it came from. things like that. So that's something important to understand too. How does the Western medicine, how do they see it? How do they address this, right? We look at all of those different things. Now, for those who don't know, epilepsy is an indication of abnormality in the brain functioning. Generally, you got grandma seizures, and you got it's like a smaller form, petite ma seizures, right? Which is the most common form, which is usually now. Epilepsy is caused by electrical discharges that are across the surface of the brain that are misfiring. That's the easiest way to think of that, right? So in the Sacred Animal Venoms Practitioner Training class, we speak about anatomy and physiology. Anatomy, the parts of the body; physiology, what they do. When it comes to physiology, the epilepsies is happening in the neurological system. This is the brain, the spinal cord, the central nervous system, and this is an electrical system. Okay, if you think of your body as a house, you got electrical, you got plumbing, you got HVAC, right? We got all of these different things. So, and then you have hormonal, right, which is the endocrine. So a lot of times when we're dealing with brain issues and things like this, we're either dealing with an electrical yes, idiocracy. Thank you, True Gem 73. Idiocracy. Peace. We're usually dealing with a chemical imbalance, which is the endocrine, or we're dealing with an electrical symbol. And electricals symbols being sometimes they're misfiring, discharging, overcharging, overfiring. Okay, so it's important to know that these electrical systems, the neurological system, is made up of proteins and peptides. It's made up of proteins and it operates with peptides. Peptides are chains of amino acids. Amino acids are information, if you will. So if there is a misfiring, Cardo, what's up, son? I need my eyes fixed. We could talk about it. The eyes, I'm not as confident approaching healing of the eyes with snake venom, but that's a different conversation. We'll get back to that. So when we're dealing with epilepsy, we're dealing with overfiring, misfiring, or underfiring of electrical signals. Those electrical signals are activated and deactivated with amino acids. That's the point that I'm trying to get y'all to understand. So when we use these snake venoms, these scorpion venoms, the Cambos, share this video if you're watching it, please. No reason why they shouldn't be shared. When we're using these, we are providing our body with informational cells. And a lot of times these signals are misfiring because there's a lack of certain peptides. Sometimes they're overfiring because there's a lack of certain peptides. These peptides will say, hey, OFF. This peptide says OFF. And in this system, it just keeps going on. Tourette syndrome. Keep firing. Epilepsy is a firing of these signals when they're not, nobody flipped the switch, but it came on. And so now there is a imbalance in what's being said to happen and what's actually happening. So when I'm asked a question such as, what do you think about epilepsy and a healing or wellness journey using snake venom? I say that I'm very confident that snake venom would assist in this challenge, because okay? Because certain snake venoms are very high in neurotoxins, which target the neurological pathways, okay? And these neurotoxins, well, first of all, let's back up. If you're familiar with Cambo, and you know what Cambo is, the frog secretion, I would like to point out, like I always do, it has 7.5% active bioactive peptides in it. 7%. So if you think of taking Cambo and how much it affects your body and your physical, cleansing, detoxing, protecting, it only has 7% peptides in it. Snake venom is 90% bioactive peptides. So understand it's more than 10 times as powerful, as strong, and as effective, and as presenting peptides to the body. Now we're looking at what type of peptides, what type of amino acids are we? What are amino acids? Amino acids do everything from structure, like hair and bones and nails. They do things like chemicals, such as insulin and adrenaline, right? They do things with electrical signals. Okay, there we go. That's our end right there. Okay, well, if that's the case, which ones have the most effectiveness with the electrical channels? Well, if we're looking at that, we would go to the venoms that are high in neurotoxins. So we have the king cobra, the monocled cobra, the Chinese cobra, the black mamba, as well as the green mamba. All of these are known for their neurotoxins, known for the assisting of the neurological pathways. As a matter of fact, the cobras have what's called nerve growth factor in them. So not only does it assist with the growth and the repair of the brain, but also the balancing, the firing of signals. Yeah, that electrical, the sending of the signals, chemical, okay, vasodilation of the heart, arteries, veins, and things of this nature. Okay, so 90% active peptides, heavy neurotoxin, neurological channeling, and the scorpion venom. Now, let me talk about that. So, with all of that being said, walking it down, walking it through, epilepsy being a misfire of electrical signals on both sides of the brain. Boom, that part too. Let me pause real quick. My thoughts on epilepsy. When I am working with clients, I use the Healing with the Kingdoms style, which means that we are going to balance all of your kingdoms to support your healing or your journey. So, first of all, your nutrition for epilepsy, your nutrition, you need extra vitamin B5. You need magnesium, calcium, and zinc may help to prevent your attacks. Vitamin D and B6 deficiency can prompt attacks, okay? Vitamin D and B6 deficiencies can actually prompt attacks or seizures, okay? When it comes to herbalism, you need to, or excuse me, I invite you to utilize herbs that relax the nervous system, such as vervain and valerian. Okay, so all right. Also, from the fungi kingdom, I would invite you to utilize the lion's mane mushroom for the neurogenesis and the brain growth, brain support, as well as microdosing psilocybin mushrooms. Why? Because when you utilize psychedelics, it allows both sides of the brain and hemispheres to work at the same time, which doesn't usually happen under normal operations. So, be it that the epilepsy is a misfiring on both sides of the brain, I would invite you to operate in focusing on both sides with the stacks, the psilocybin, niacin, lion's mane, cordyceps, all in one. Okay. My fiance had the monocled cobra for his epilepsy done by Nydia, and he's doing great. Indeed. Thank you for that. Indeed. So we have here a testimonial of individual dealing with epilepsy who utilized the monocled cobra. And she says he is doing great. And it's in all capitals. Capital greats with exclamation marks and happy faces and celebration faces after it. If you can, oh no, it's loving faces. It's loving faces. I got my glasses on, but so there we have it. And shout out to Nydia. She is a awesome snake venom practitioner located in the Michigan area. Shout out to Brandy Lee out in Florida. Shout out to Dawn out in California. Kaylon out in Texas. Mandy in Texas, Summer in Utah, I believe. Shout out to Dan Washburn up there in New York. Shout out to Mel and Jeff, Terrestrial Magic. We have some awesome snake venom practitioners. Shout out to Fire. Shout out to Goddess Oya. Yo, it's some dope practitioners out here. And yes, that is my thoughts on epilepsy. We got to get those minerals up to point and keep them right to keep those seizures from happening. Definitely get your plant kingdom, herbs on point for that nervous system. The fungi kingdom, again, that lion's mane and that psilocybin for the brain and the neurological connecting and repairing and support. The animal kingdom. Oh, there we go. Animal kingdom. So the snake venom. Snake venom. Now, we spoke about the snake venom, right? I'm very confident that the snake venom is something that individuals would have some success with. However, snake venom is an administration, such as like Cambo. We open the gates and a snake venom practitioner applies the venom, allows it to absorb in. Once it's absorbed in, they seal the gates. The snake venom practitioner then leaves, or you leave their space. Everybody does not have access to be able to go and get snake venom maybe as often as they feel like they need, or maybe there's some apprehension about the application process, all of these different things. Well, there is an alternative. Scorpion venom. Okay. And the reason I bring the scorpion venom is because the scorpion venom is a neurotoxin. Again, focusing on those neurological channels. Now, the beauty of it is that the scorpion venom is an oral solution. So that means it can be self-administered. The scorpion solution is something that you can purchase, and when you receive it, you'll put a couple drops of it in your water every morning, right? Now, there's a regimen. You want your body to learn it, to learn to recognize it. So first you put 1 drop, drink that. The next day, you put 2 drops, drink that. The next day, you do 3 drops, drink that. So you see, and you build the recognition up, and then your body will start to recognize and utilize. Also, it can be used in the belly button, the scorpion venom. There's 72,000 nerve endings or some 7,200, the whole gang of nerve endings, right? In the navel, where we received our food, our oxygen, everything that was needed while we were in the womb. We came out of the womb and we were separated from the placenta per the umbilical cord, which shut off that connection from the outside. Inside of your body, all of those nerves, nerve connections, all of those are still active. So putting the scorpion venom in your belly button and allowing it to absorb through to the other side where those open and active neurological channels will take that and apply it where necessary. Very awesome. I have heard some very, very fascinating, amazing, like, I almost wouldn't believe it if I knew that the person I was talking to wasn't a liar type of testimonials with the Scorpion Venom. So for those who have apprehensive to the Snake Venom, or maybe don't have the access, or you just want more medicine, right? Because the Snake Venom, when you have it, you keep it in the freezer, you can use that for months, you know what I'm saying, depending on how often you use it. So I definitely would invite individuals with something like epilepsy, where this isn't something that is like a disease that you can watch, like a cancer or a virus, and you can see where it's at and when it's going smaller and when it's not like that. It's not like, you know, when it's coming. And so the idea of medicating for it, it's a little bit more of a challenge, because it's like, do I do it every day forever? How do I go about this? So utilizing the Scorpion Venom brings that back into your own hands. You might medicate 2 times a week. On Tuesdays, I take some Scorpion Venom, and on Fridays, I take some Scorpion Venom. So therefore, I'm always keeping it in my body, keeping it active, and keeping the neurological workings continuously going, right? Keep in mind that they don't know where it comes from. They don't know where it is, what causes it. So they don't know if it can be healed or not, right? So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? When I talk to people and they talk to me, I give them my confidence. And I am very confident that individuals can have some success on a journey in addressing epilepsy with Snake Venom and Scorpion Venom, as well as the rest of the kingdoms. Okay? So, that's what I got, you know. Thank you for this time. Thank you to everybody who shared this video as I requested. If you're watching this, please share. There's no reason not to share. I didn't go into a whole bunch of personal stuff, bunch of jokes, or anything unnecessary or uncouth. This should be shared. This is for the assistance of people in the community. Also, if you have questions on receiving Snake Venom or receiving Snake Venom training, I invite you to visit www.venompractitioner.org. This is the Venoms Practitioners Association. They're a dope association, and me respecting and seeing everything that they're doing and trying to keep safety in our community, trying to keep information and checks and balances and services. I have agreed to actually start to release operations around the Venoms classes and all of those types of things to the association. So, and other than that, if you want to get with me about anything, any of my services like that, my link is shared in, you know, the title or whatnot. Other than that, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And if y'all want me to cover any other ailments or diseases or things like that, and speak about maybe how to approach a wellness journey, even in the privacy of your own home, you don't have to come see us. You know, hit me in the inbox. And if I feel like, hey, that's a dope one, yeah, I'll talk about it. If not, I won't. And if I never address what you want me to address, I apologize, but feel free to get that Candly link and sign up for a consultation, and we'll go through it. You'll get my undivided attention. But outside of that, thank y'all. I love y'all. And as always, tell somebody you love them in the language they can understand it in. Peace.